guys, Wahoo here, back with another video. This time around we are gonna go over every single slot there is giving you power in Trove. There's a few slots we will not be covering, but I'll do those in the start of the video, and there is gonna be timestamps so you can skip ahead. But these are basically equipment slots where it doesn't really matter which ones you put in there, but I will still go over them so you will get the same power out of it. But I will cover the ones that has a difference in what power you are going to gain through all of them as well. So this is basically a power rank guide, if you can say, as of 2026, spring 2026. This is where we are at right now. So anything that happens in the future, I can't cover it in this video, obviously, because I can't predict the future. But as of right now, we are going to get the Tiny Quest update, which is going to give you some more power on your allies, but it will not increase your power rank. It will just increase the stats on the ally you are going to equip by double. When you have leveled it up to level 30, it will give you double the stats that it gives you right now. So basically, the one I'm going to show you is you can just double that up using a calculator or something like that, depending on which ones you want to use and which ones you have access to as well. But I think that is most of what I wanted to do in this intro. So let's just jump to the, you can call them honorable mentions, but the ones that doesn't have a super crazy impact on your gameplay. All right, so let's talk about the honorable mentions, or the ones that doesn't have a great impact on your power rank. I do also want to show you guys my power rank right now is 58,298 power rank, and the maximum is about, I think it's like almost 59,000. I think that's where we are at. I think we can go into a Shadow Hunter right here. Yeah, this is the maximum right now, 29,000, no, not 29, 59,170. Numbers are hard, but you can see I'm a little bit behind, and that's mostly because I haven't maxed out my mythic gear, and also I'm missing some power rank compared to, or not power rank, sorry, mastery rank compared to some other people as well. Other than that, I am very close to being maxed out, as you can see right here. It's not very much that is a difference, like 900 power rank, which is not a big deal at the moment, but of course it will have an impact when you go further on. But let's talk about the honorable mentions, and these honorable mentions is not the ones that are down here. That doesn't really provide you anything at all, but there is a few emblems and also vials, as you can see here. They are going to give you some power rank as well. It's 150 power rank from these, and you can see if I equip this one, this is also going to be 50, and this is also going to be 50 and 50 and 50. So these are basically the same. That's why I don't want to cover it in like a specific order, because these all of them are going to give you the same power rank as well. And the same thing goes with your ally. So ally is going to give you 75 power, as you can see here. Some of them are going to get you lower, but most of them are going to give you 75 power, as you can see me go over them. Some of them, like these ones, are going to give you 20, but these are not very amazing ones either, and it's not going to be a very huge difference in what you are going to get. But I do want to mention that this is currently the most light you can get on an ally in the new update. As I talked about the tiny quests, those are also going to give you 450 and give you some other stats than these, and maybe these are going to be a little bit better. I'm considering using some of these instead, because you are going to lose 100 light, but at the moment that is not a big deal because we have plenty of light coming in from different other places as well. So just wanted to mention that these are of course from the star chart, and of course also this one is from Luxian. So when Luxian is in town once a month, then you can get this ally right here. So I just wanted to mention that as well. So these were the kind of honorable mentions that I am going to talk about, and moving on, we are going to go into, again, some much more depth in how you are going to acquire the different things that actually has a big impact on your power rank. But before we do that, I do want to also show you guys my power rank right here and see where I get my power rank from. And that is going to be 450 from the class level. That's a level 30 class. It has nothing to do with your Paragon. Then you have equipped a fully maxed out, well, fully maxed, you can say it like that, but a fully leveled subclass that is going to give you another 90 power rank. And also then these are the 8,416 is from your equipment. That's basically all you have right here. Not really the stuff down here, but the stuff right here, that is going to give you equipment. Then I get 2,283 from my mastery rank, and I can again show you my master rank. I am 783, and I am maxed out on my Geode. But you also can see in here, if I go right over here, you can see I get 500 from Geode mastery. You cannot at this moment get more than that, and I don't think they have any plans to increase this very rapidly or anything like that. Then we also have 2010, not the year, but 2010 from Dragons. And I do want to show you guys my Dragons as well. You can see here is my Dragons. I have all the Primordial ones. I do have all the Legendary ones. I'm missing some of these Ancestral ones. And you can see I'm missing 4 from these ones. I'm also Luxian. And these also, of course, give me a little bit of stats, but not something insane or anything crazy. Well, they do provide a little bit of that, but that doesn't really do anything for all this, but it does give you some power rank as of right now. So I wanted to show you guys that as well. But as you can see, the most of it, my 44,540 is from gems. And I will also be covering gems later on in the video, but I just wanted to show you guys where like most of my power comes from, and that is going to be gems. So don't be too discouraged if you feel like your numbers above the gems right here is low. Gems are going to carry you through the most of it. So that's why gems are the king. And with that said, we can move into the first equipment. All right, so the first equipment is going to be our hat, our weapon, and our face. And I do want to talk how you are going to obtain it, because of right now, basically Mythic 1, we're not sure if it's going to be, there's going to be Mythic 2 in the future, or it's going to be a different tier. It kind of seems like they want us to have this Mythic gear as like a long term, and then they want to switch it up to something different and not go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but we'll see what happens. But before this, we do have, if I move on to a different class, we can just move on to this one. I do have a Crystal 5, which is basically the tier right below as you have your Mythic gear. And how you are going to obtain this Crystal 5 gear. Basically, you are going to obtain this if you do know how to get your Crystal 4 gear, basically. And if you know how to get your Crystal 4 gear, you already know how you're going to get your Crystal 5 gear. But in case you don't know, the way you do get it is if you go to your Atlas right here and you go to a Prime World, and it's going to be 14. You can also go down here and again go 14. You are able to get mostly basically you're gonna get mostly Crystal 3, and then rarely you are gonna get Crystal 4, and then very rarely you are gonna get Crystal 5, and then you can basically go from there. So it's basically luck based in that sort of, it's basically RNG when you are going to get it. You can boost it with your Magic Find, you can do that, but it doesn't increase the chance of getting 4 and 5, it just increases the chance of dropping Crystal Gear for you, which then indirectly gives you more chances of it being 4 and 5. You can also go into delves, and if you do a delve on the floor of at least 115, that counts towards, being the same level as, Prime Worlds 14 or Geo Topside 14. There you can get it as well. You can also get it, of course, in the long shade, in the difficulty 15. You can also get it there, not at a higher rate, or some maybe it's a little bit higher rate. I haven't found any kind of evidence that proves that it's going to be a higher rate at that, and I don't really feel like I see much of Crystal 5 in those, so I think it's much more chances to do it in 14, because it could also, maybe you can do 15, maybe 15 is not too difficult for you, but still kind of tough. We do have the gems that can carry you, right? But it's also about being efficient. So if you can do this 14 very, very efficient, then you should definitely go and do that, and then go to 15 when you have more equipped. But basically you want to get that Crystal 5, because then you can upgrade it to Mythic when you do max it out. When you have it at 5 stars, you can go ahead and get it up to Mythic Gear 1, or just Mythic Gear, whatever you prefer to call it. So that's how you are going to get your face, your weapon, and your hat, because you just get that Crystal 4, and then you find some Crystal 5 gear. Unfortunately, you cannot craft from 4 to 5. That would be super, super awesome if you could, but you can actually also get some of these just by upgrading that as well from 5. I do want to mention right now is that there also is these gear crafting vaults, and these can, if you have maxed out gear crafting skill, and if you have enough power rank, then you can also be able to get some crystal 5 gear out of this one. But it basically works, in my opinion, kind of not radioactive, but retroactive. That's what it's called, because you need a very high power rank class. I think it's like 50,000 or something like that, 45,000. I think it's 45,000 power rank. If you open it at that point, you are going to be able to get that crystal 5. So it basically, you might already have crystal 5 gear at that point. So that's why, I mean, it kind of goes retroactive, and I feel like it's more of a system for leveling up your alts. So you can basically have a very high class power rank class, and then you can open these gear vault boxes and then max out your, because for example, I just showed you guys the Solarian, right? I sold you, and this crystal 5 hat is actually from there. As you can see, it's Gear Crafter's arcane cap. So you can see this one is coming from there. So this was not one that dropped for me. I just, you know, equipped it from dropping it from the Dracolite that I have right here. So that is how you are going to get it. Again, going to those different worlds, having a drop, and the same is from the, like I said, the delves. If you go to 115, you have to go all the way through 3 floors. And then when you hit the 3rd floor, you are going to open that shadowy cache that you need the key for to open. Like if you want to get your souls, your lunar souls, your titan souls, on all that stuff, there's also a chance it's going to drop in there. So that's how you are going to get your equipment from Crystal 5, and then you have to upgrade it. At some point, we are going to have enough power rank to also, I don't know, I think it's going to be 60,000, and also maxed out gear crafting skill. 60,000 power rank. Then that might be our highest drop, will be mythic gear, but we're not there yet, so we don't know yet before we are going to get some more power out of that. But for now, basically getting your crystal 5, just crystal 4, like crystal 4, then going to crystal 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then when you have 5, you can max that out, and it's going to give you an option to craft it up to mythic gear. So there is no way at this point that your mythic gear can drop from anywhere, but that might change in the future, but we'll have to see as well. But that's kind of the breakdown of the hat, weapon, and face that is in this here. So now we can move on to the banner. All right, so now we have the banner, and this is not going to be a crazy yap session as the previous one, but we are going to talk about the banner. And from the banner, the best one you can get is, of course, the torch, the perma torch. That is 350, as you can see right here. It does come with different stats, depending on which ones you craft when you go to the Geo topside world. If you go there, you can craft different ones, one with magic damage, one with physical damage, and then some other stats. I went from the flash capacity and movement speed, and that really depends on which class you playing, and there's not really one that's better than the others in that tier, basically. But how you are going to obtain this torch is that you do go to the Geo topside world and you farm Leviathans. As you can see here, go to 14, and then you're gonna find that. You can also get perma torches from the lower difficulties. You can also get some that are not permanent, and ones that are only gonna work for a week. But the lower ones are going to give you lower banners or lower torches that you can craft lower banners with. So basically, if you're down here and you kill some Leviathans and you get one to drop, then you have a chance of getting one of these lower ones, and then you can craft that one and then start from there, and then go to 12, 13, 14, or just get invited to 14 if you get somebody that can actually carry you through those ones as well. You can also do the same thing in 15, and then you'll still only get that perma torch that is in 14 as well. So basically, you're just making a little bit more difficult for yourself, taking a little bit more damage right into 14. So RNG can be on your side. I was very lucky. I got mine on the 6th Leviathan, so I'm very happy. But they actually changed it. If you haven't played since that came out, under batches, if you go into batches and you go down to Leviathans right down here, when you do 250 of them, as you can see, I do have done 160 of them. I'm probably never going to hit that 500 because that's not for me. But the point is that you can see you get an enshadowed Tangled torch, as you can see down there. That's so you get a perma torch from the highest difficulty. And you can actually do this if you want to. You can actually do to 500 if you want to on difficulty 11, and you will still be able to, because it is still going to count towards the batch. It's still going to count towards this one. Or, sorry, 250, not 500, sorry, 250 Leviathans. You could do that actually in Geotopside 11, and then you would actually get the best permatorch you can actually get. So you actually don't have to do it all in 14 to get it that way, but you do have to do 250 Leviathans to actually do that, and that there's only one Leviathan in every world. You can also go through, if I show you, I think do I have it on me at the moment? I'm not sure. No, I have them lying in my stash as well. This is a big mess, by the way. But you can actually get it, make these depth steppers, which you can craft in the Delve workbench. As you can see right here, there is going to be, this is a little bit more of a harder method to do it, but you can see, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, there you go. Like this one, for example, right here. You can see you can craft this one at the delves and do these ones. They are quite expensive on every of these things, right? But you can do it there, and then you're guaranteed to find it, or you can go through 250 worlds and then you can find it. But usually people want to do that together, so people do get to 250, and also people do get it for more. So I really hope you don't have to do that many. I've heard about people doing a lot of these to get them basically, but there's ways to get this torch. And then you go to the Geotopside, just any of these worlds, and there's a crafting bench right where you spawn in, and then you can craft the torch the permit banner that you basically want, and this is the best you can actually get as well. So this was the banner. Let's move on to the next thing, which is rings. Alright, so the next thing is going to be rings. So the current best ring is the Crystal 4 ring. They have been talking about getting Crystal 5 rings. People have also hopefully got, like, not next is going to be rings, but it's going to be allies, right? But we are going to talk about rings and what the best rings are, but they also, maybe we'd also want, of course, mythic rings, because now we have mythic gear, so we want it to be that the same. Also, of course, we have mythic gems as well, right? So how you are going to currently get the Crystal 4 ring is that, of course, you level up your gear crafting. I was about to say, of course, ring crafting. If I can find a table, there's a ring polisher, there is a ring crafting bench, and when you go 1 with the loop, that means 300, you are able to unlock this. And basically the system is that you do these, of course, the first ones right here, you get a bunch of Paragon levels, which is going to give you these loops, and then you also need these prime loops, and these prime loops is when you hit a prime level, which is, I don't remember which ones are the prime levels, but you can search on Google, you can search prime numbers, and then you know which ones it is going to be. And you can also every week also craft some of these primal cubes. You can basically see here from some of your loops. I'm actually going to go and do that because it's actually a very nice. This is, you can craft as many as you want from this one, but it's going to cost you 15. But this one, you can craft 3 a week, and it's only going to be costing you 10. So you might want to do this every single week if you have enough loops and such. Of course, you also need loops to, of course, craft your rings, so don't use all of them up to get some of these here. And then if you want some of these prime loops, you basically what you do is that you open these on the class you have. So if you want these, for example, right now I'm with the Dracolite, right? But if you want them on the Boomer, or if you wanted a Revenant, you have to be on that class or you will get it to the Dracolite. So make sure you're on the class you want them for. So you have to switch around for that as well. But basically you craft one of some of these, and then these are going to give you, when you open them, it's going to give you rings, which you want, of course, right? And then it's going to give you also, when you then when you loot collect these rings, you are going to get these ring crafted tickets, and you get these from, of course, for when you loot collect these 1 boxes, you get level 2 boxes, or for level 2 boxes, and then level 3, and then level 4 as well. As you can see here, these are level 4 rings, or you can basically get guaranteed to get level Crystal 3 rings or better. So these ones down here is very expensive. to get, because you need to basically go through all these steps up here to get some of these middle steps and then the last steps right here. When you craft some of these here, you have a chance of also crafting some of these higher ones, but it's a chance you get, and you can also, some of them can actually be traded, so you can actually go ahead and trade it on the marketplace, and you can also buy some guaranteed crystal 4 rings on the marketplace, but they're very, very, very expensive. Usually they are at this point, right? So basically, as you can see here, I can craft some of these, and these are gonna give me crystal 2 or better. And then when I loot collect these, let me see if I can't find my Dracolite again. Okay, I can't find it. There we go. Then you can see I have some of these gilded ring crafting tickets, which I need again to craft all these. You can see it doesn't cost you very much of these, but these are the ones that are gonna cost you quite a lot, because you need to go through these steps here. You need to loot collect some of these lower boxes. I can actually go ahead and actually let me see the Dracolite. Let me just craft one of these rings. As you can see here, it's gonna give you, actually was lucky in getting a level 2, so I am actually gonna go ahead and loot collect that one. You can see it's gonna give me some of these 5 of these tickets. It's also gonna give me a loot back and some of these other materials as well. And these let me show you these shadow diamonds and also crystal diamonds, or celestial diamonds as they're really called. These cost random things you can get on the marketplace or just go out there from. Not very expensive, that's why I'm not really covering those. But as you can see, now I can make one of these. I can actually make a few more. So now if I open this one, I can actually go ahead and craft this one. And I got a royal one, and now I can get at least a level 2, but it can also be better. So let me open it up, and we got a 2, unfortunately. So I'm not going to get, 3. So let me go ahead and maybe, it could be really nice for the video if it would go ahead and craft a level 3. There we go. There's a 3 one. Super awesome. See, now you can get some of these with the red. I only get 1 of these. So I need 5, or actually I need 3 more. Sorry, where's the Dracolite? It was right here. You can see I need 3 more of these gilded ones. So I need to craft more of these to get more of these. So again, it's going to be quite expensive going through. And then you are not guaranteed to get a 4. You are guaranteed to only get a 3 and maybe a better. So you can actually go all the way up here and then see, oh, hopefully I get a 3, or sorry, a 4, but you won't get, maybe you won't get it. So that's how you are going to get it. Basically, you just go through all the steps in the gear crafting, level up your gear crafting, and then just go from this tier to this tier, and then into this tier, and then hopefully you get lucky and get a fourth one. But again, when you craft, there is a chance of you getting a higher box, and also a box you can trade. And if you want to trade that instead of, if you want to get that or open it yourself to get a 4, that's really up to you. So yeah, you can see here, if I just open these, you can see you get these prime for the Dracolite as well. So anyways, that was the ring. Let's move on to the last part, which is gems. Alright, lastly, we are going to talk about gems, and if you haven't seen in the beginning, I can see here that gems are going to be the ones that are going to carry absolutely the most. And which is really, really nice with gems is that you can upgrade them now to where you want to. Basically, you can, before, or not before, but always you had to basically go through all of these, and you still have to do that until you can get stellar gems. And mostly people have stellar gems. That's not very hard to come by anymore. So when you are on the stage of stellar, you can go from stellar into, let me just go to a class that has some stellar ones. You can see here stellar, and then basically what you want to do is that you want to use some of these crystal gem converters and then get them into crystal tier. And then when you have it in crystal tier, you can then get it into mythic tier as well. And that is going to be the highest quality or tier we can have at this moment. And as you can see here, all of mine are 35, which is the highest level they can be. But you can also get mystic gear, or mythic gems on your lower characters. If I can just find the one I was talking about. Yes, right. No, that's not the one I was talking about. Let me, oh yeah, Shadow Hunter, there we go. So here you can see I have a level 1 mythic gem, and that's going to be exactly like the ones that are lower, like the ones that are stellars, all the way to 25, and then they're going to go into, I can show you guys right here. If I go, I'm just going to use some of these just because I can. You can see I'm going all the way to, maybe that's a little bit expensive when going through these, but let me just level them up a little bit here. Let me just go right here. So we go all the way to there you go. Let me see if I can't get it to 20. So now we get into 20. And if I go to these ones and just use a few of these because that's a little bit expensive, you can see now 25, that's what stellars are. And then it goes into using some of these cosmic sparks, which is basically cosmic gems. If you go right over here into the venture under gems, you can get these sparks which cost you gem dust. You can also convert them back to dust basically. So basically these are, you know, we can see I can take the sparks, and these drop from crystal gems as well, but basically you can also convert them into some of these fire dust right here, as you can see. And that is how your gems are going to be upgraded if you want to do so. But let me go into, so this one, if I want this one, you can go into this one. It's gonna cost you either real money or it's gonna cost you in-game currency as well. So I am just gonna, for the sake of video, I'm just gonna buy one of these so you guys can see that I'm gonna buy one of these. And then you can see I can use one of these and then I can tier it up, as you can see here. And then later on, if I wanna level it up some more, I can actually also go into the mythic gem converter, and it's gonna cost you this one as well. I can level up this one just to show you guys, just because I don't mind. So let me just go all the way to here. And then we are going to use some of these prime shards, which you can also make from this one as well. I'm not going to go any more crazier, but basically you need one of these, one of these to go further into that one as well. And you just need all the sparks to do so. So that's how you are going to level up your gems. Basically, you want to get to stellar, and then you want to go into crystal, and then you want to go into mythic as well. Because at the point where you basically are by leveling them up, you are not going to be able to, if you can farm, of course, long shade, or also, of course, your top side 15, difficulty 15, then you can get boxes, and I'll show you guys the boxes. Then you get these boxes right here. These boxes right here, you can see they are opening. These are going to give you gem sparks. They are going to give you gem dust. They're going to give you crystal gems and possibly even a mythic gem. So, but you can only get these long shade gems where you can actually, don't get cosmic gems. So you do have to go to top side 15 to get those boxes as well. Unless there is a biome that is from the top side, as you can see right here, the hollow dunes is one of those that are in rotation right now. That can actually give you some of those boxes as well. But if you want cosmic gems, you just go to Geo Top Side 15. There you can get specific gems for, of course, cosmic ones as well. So you need to open these ones, and then you have a chance of getting some mythic gems. If you go to 14, the highest you can get is a chance of crystal. So yeah, just want to make sure you guys know that. But you can go from stellar if you're way back from stellar. But stellar is very easy to come by, right? And I guess that's kind of like the lowest you can almost get. But basically then you can convert them up if you just want to do that, or you want to basically farm it on, if you get invited to some place that you can join, and then you can also farm some boxes like that. You don't have to be that power rank, that only the power rank that is required, which is 42,500, and also of course I think it's like 10,000 light or something like that. But that's how you are going to obtain your gems from this one right here. And of course, these mythic ones is also something you can, of course, have to upgrade, because there's no mythic gems you can get. Or the big ones, the empowered ones, cannot be dropped from anywhere. You still are going to get these ones. You can get from your class quest or class gem, the class gem can still be dropping as mythic, but there's a higher chance it's going to be crystal. So just make sure you know that as well. So the ones you get is of course right here. As you can see, you get like radiant or stellar from the empowered gem boxes, and then you have to level them up to crystal and then level them up to mythic. But there's an exception, of course, for your class gem, which can drop as both crystal and also at the mythic, but at quite a low rate, and also with the right stats that you want, of course. So yeah, anyways, that is how you are going to upgrade your gems. Again, it's going to cost you just a bunch of dust and bust. As you can see before, it's just going to cost you a bunch of dust and a bunch of flux and a bunch of other things as well. So yeah, gems are pretty straightforward. Just level them up and you are going to get your power rank, and then you can convert them. of course, add that one as well. But there is actually also a sort of a freeway, if you can say it like that. If you go into here, you can see there is actually ones you can craft if you want to do so as well, but they are quite expensive. So I think before you get all these souls, because you need all the souls you can get for your gear, then it's probably much easier to just, you know, buy these ones from your star, you know, from your star bar, of course, from your qubits as well. So enough yapping, enough rambling. I think that covers also the gems, but as of right now, we got mythic, level 35 ones. So yeah, happy hunting for this one as well.